Welcome back to another edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Monday, the 18th day of June, 2018. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. Steve Hair, news director to my immediate left. Kat is not in control. She's on vacation, well-deserved vacation too. She was getting a little surly. What's the best word when you know you're getting a little burned out and you need to step away from the office for a little bit?
Be nice now.
No, she needs a vacation.
She did need a vacation.
Yeah.
Kat was,
She works hard.
Yeah, she does work hard.
And
does a good job.
Yeah, she does a good job. And Uriah will be producing for this week, and he does a good job too. So Uriah is in control. We're back out of here on a Monday. How was your Father's Day weekend?
It was very fatherly. It was really nice.
Okay, good.
I enjoyed it.
Good.
A lot of sports on TV. Enjoyed the U.S. Open and the controversy contained within that. I'll tell you, old Phil Mickelson. A lot of hot water.
Yeah, well deserved. You don't do that.
You don't touch a moving ball.
You don't. You just don't. You know, even the weekend duffer knows that, and he did it on national television.
Well, yesterday he hit one off the tee, and then I heard somebody in the back of the gallery yell, "Wait for it to stop, Phil."
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Phil should not have done what he did, and I'm just going to leave it at that. What he should have done is, because he committed a faux pas against the game itself, the game that made him an international figure and a multimillionaire, he should have said, for the good of the game, I'm going to not play the rest of this tournament. That's what he should have done.
Yeah.
That's what he should have done.
Yeah.
Oh, enough of that. I had a good weekend. I woke up just in time to watch Iceland tie Argentina.
How about that?
In the World Cup on Saturday morning. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Mexico
beats Germany.
The World Cup's off to a great start.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'm looking forward to that. I did the same thing. I watched a lot of sports, read some books, listened to some music. On Sunday morning, it was so beautiful yesterday morning. I went down to the Linden Tree area at the park and sat on a park bench and read a book and watched the Wenatchee Row and Paddle Club, take their skulls out of the barn and take to the river. By the way, the river is still high and is still cold, for those of you who have not been down to the river. And it was a good weekend, very peaceful.
Beautiful weekend.
Yeah, now we're back at it. Weather forecast is coming up. Remember last week at this time, last Thursday or Friday, we were going to say it's going to be sunny and hot all this week. Not quite now, not quite as hot, not quite as sunny.
Kind of unsettled.
Yeah, unsettled. Forecast details are coming up, but not going to be quite as warm, and we do have a chance of a thunderstorm or two. The high-pressure ridge isn't quite as strong as they were hoping it would be. Second half of the show, Gabe Stefanidis will be joining me for the Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. The world's largest swimming lesson is this Thursday morning at the rack. Every kid should know how to swim. We'll talk about that and all things about the Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. Gabe will join me in the second half of the show. Sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays, everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. You got a lot of news to get to. It was a busy weekend, a lot of things going on.
Yeah, a lot of things going on, both good and bad. So we'll share the whole gamut with you coming up in a few minutes.
So it's a busy show. Thanks for starting your day and your work week with us here on the NCW Live channel. And now let's take our tour around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. Of course, Uriah gets to decide today. We start out with, of course, the Valley proper. We have a few high clouds right now, Steve, and 61 degrees. We were not expecting those afternoon clouds yesterday. It kind of developed.
It developed, yeah, but that's normally the way things run here during the summer months or as we get closer to the solstice.
Yep, the summer solstice is something like 3 a.m. on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So you and I will be awake for it, but the rest of us won't. So good morning, Wenatchee Valley proper. Good to have you on board. And you can't really tell from that shot, but yes, as I mentioned before, I was right down on the river and it is running cold and high still.
It looks like my perspective flying in the DC-3 last week.
That's right, it does, doesn't it? Camera, I'm just still jealous about that. Camera 2, Uriah says, let's do a slow dissolve to see what's going on up at Turtle Rock. That's the Arundel Rock camera pointed down the Columbia River. This is, of course, the backside of Rocky Reach Dam. And you can tell from that angle that the river is still high.
Oh, yeah.
It's high and it's cold and it's running fast in many locations.
A lot of fish in there, too.
There was a guy fishing off when I got down to the Linden Tree area. This was about 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. Beautiful Sunday morning. He was fishing off the dock down there. He wasn't catching anything. I said, what are you fishing for? And he goes, I don't know, anything that'll bite.
A friend of mine was posted something on Facebook over the weekend. He took one of those guided fishing trips up the Columbia and ended up with their limit.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
King salmon.
Let's eat.
Woo.
Camera number 3. Uriah says, speaking of Omi Garden, let's take a look at Omi Gardens. And that's looking up the Columbia River. The Rocky Reach Dam, of course, is to your left. Spill gates aren't quite as wide open. Remember, just a couple of weeks ago, I think they had almost all of them open. Not so much today. You can see the Baker Flats Industrial Park over there to your right in US 97.
A little further north up there is where that helicopter came down in that Aranda orchard. We'll share the details up coming up.
Thank goodness the Pottet is okay.
Yeah.
Usually helicopters and high-tension power lines don't mix, but we'll have that story with the news with Steve in just a couple of minutes. And camera 4 as Uriah drinks his coffee. I can see him through the glass. There we go, Billy Goat. Billy Goat, Billy Goat, oh Billy, 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 Billy Goat. Do. That's our highest camera, Steve.
Yep,
About
looking down
60.
on the terrace and the confluence of the Columbia and the Methow River.
You can see the Alta Lake Golf Course pretty much right in the middle of your screen. I have not played that yet this year. I will. Trust me on that. Beautiful view up there. And way at the very top of your screen is Canada. Mm-hmm. We are not a rated show in Canada, I'm afraid. Well, they use a different metric up there. They use the metric system, as a matter of fact.
Oh, they do.
Canada.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't know what our ratings are up there because it's not compatible with Fahrenheit.
And I don't do conversions. So.
No, you don't do conversions. So there you go. Our cameras around North Central Washington, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet. So your forecast from the National Weather Service looks like this. Not bad today. A mixture of clouds and sun. As the day progresses, the clouds will be thickening up. By the end of the day today, by the way, sunrise is at 9. Sunset is at 9 now. It'll be fairly cloudy, high of 87 degrees. Mostly cloudy early on tonight, then the clouds clear out. 62 for the overnight low. So the clouds are going to hold the heat in. That's pretty mild. Sunshine Tuesday, lots of it, and a high just about 90. Now, last week at this time, they were thinking, okay, we're going to start climbing the ladder, 90, 92, 94. That's not going to be the case because a low pressure ridge is going to come sliding through on Wednesday. So some isolated showers. Still going to be sunny for the most part Wednesday, but we can't rule out some isolated showers in the middle of the day and then a thunderstorm late in the afternoon. There's about a 20% chance of that happening. 89. The high on Wednesday, partly cloudy Wednesday night, 66 for the overnight low. Sunshine, just the slightest of slight chances of a thunderstorm Thursday. Then we cool down, 84, 84, 85 for the weekend. That is pleasant. It's not bad at all. By the way, the high today in Los Angeles, Steve, 72. So we're going to blow LA right out of the water there. So
a lot cleaner air up here, too.
Yeah, a lot cleaner air up
Yeah.
here. Boy,
I don't miss that, believe me.
I'd love to go to Disneyland, but I can't see it.
Yeah.
It's 8 minutes after. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to. This is kind of fascinating. Don't go anywhere for just a second. The Braves won yesterday. The Braves beat San Diego 4-2. So that puts the Braves one game above 500 all time. This is fascinating.
Huh.
The Braves go back to 1876. The Braves, Atlanta Braves, Milwaukee Braves, Boston Braves, they go all the way back to 1876. With yesterday's victory, this caught my eye. The Braves have won in their history 10,552 games. They have lost 10,551 games.
Okay.
Isn't that amazing?
Everything kind of washes out, I would imagine.
They played 21,000 baseball games in the last 150 years. They were one game above 500 in the franchise history.
Interesting, huh?
That is pretty interesting. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Now we'll take a quick break. Go grab yourself a cup of coffee and whatever it is, maybe a couple of pieces of toast, and come right back and sit down in front of your television because Steve has your Monday morning news. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Live this morning from Studio 42 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
RLS Productions presents Concerts in the Gardens held at Omi Gardens this coming summer, featuring the Infinity Project, a Journey tribute band, Too Slim and the Taildraggers, the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, the Peter Rivera Band, and Invisible Touch, a Phil Collins tribute band. The objectives of the series are to increase midweek tourism to the Wenatchee Valley, the development of a world-class series overlooking the Wenatchee Valley, along with awarding annual scholarships to Wenatchee Valley College students. RLS Productions would like to thank their supporters and volunteers for helping make this all possible.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hair.
Leading off our news this morning on this 18th day of June with some tragic news. An arrest has been made in connection with a fatal hit-and-run crash in Manson early Sunday morning. The Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett reports it happened around 2:49 in the morning. An injured man was reported laying in the roadway in the 500 block of Manson Boulevard. Aid crews arrived and it was determined that the male was deceased at about 3 a.m. Deputies located vehicle debris on the roadway in the vicinity, and it appeared the male had been struck by a vehicle. They were able to match the debris with a suspect vehicle description. That vehicle was later located Sunday afternoon. Now, detectives interviewed the driver of that car, a 21-year-old Manson man whose name has not been released yet. He was later booked into the Chelan County Regional Justice Center for hit and run resulting in death. Although an arrest has been made, detectives are still investigating that incident. Also, a helicopter pilot was not injured when that chopper crashed while fanning a cherry orchard in the Orondo area Sunday morning. Chief Jim Ote with the Orondo Fire Department says it happened in the area of Cascade Foothills, about 4 miles south of the Beebe Bridge. Emergency crews arrived to find the chopper heavily damaged but sitting upright in the orchard. The pilot said she struck high voltage power lines, causing damage to the helicopter tail rotor, and that brought it down to the ground. The high tension power lines were broken, also downed. The helicopter was on location controlling moisture on cherry trees to prevent damage from overnight rains. There were no injuries, but there was property damage to the helicopter, also to the electrical wires, orchard trees, and trellis, as well as widespread power outage. Also, a South Wenatchee Park project has received national attention. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has joined other federal partners in announcing technical assistance to help 6 communities use local health facilities as a driver for improving health and revitalizing the local economy. Well, the help is provided through Healthy Places for Healthy People, a federal initiative that engages with community leaders and healthcare partners to create walkable, healthy, economically vibrant downtowns and neighborhoods. Now, the Trust for Public Land, in partnership with the City of Wenatchee, Confluence Health, Community Choice, and Parque Padrinos, a local citizens group, is revitalizing Kiwanis Met-Hal Park. Support from the EPA sets the stage now for the renovation of the park. Now, as a selectee, the community partners will receive access to technical experts from the EPA who will work with them to organize and hold a 2-day workshop, and that'll bring together community stakeholders to create an action plan moving forward. Steve Hair, NCW Life News. Well, it was a great weekend for a lot of activities here in the Wenatchee Valley, including this big event. And there were some threatening skies, as you can see in the background, greeting the participants in Saturday evening's Run with the Cops event in East Wenatchee. But the thunderstorms didn't dampen the energy of the runners. The 5K run benefits local Special Olympics athletes as they're preparing for the Summer Games in Seattle. It's a great turnout. Law enforcement officers, family, and community members to support a great cause. I had to post this picture, of course. Captain Edgar Reinfeld in his full uniform there, also participating in that run behind Fred Meyer Department Store Saturday. And I understand they had a great turnout and have raised a lot of money for the local Special Olympic athletes. One final note here, Pangbourne Airport's Aviation Day event was a huge success Saturday with hundreds of people showing up to get an up-close look at a fully restored DC-3 passenger aircraft. Historic Flight Foundation offered rides on that 1944 vintage plane. NCW Life hitched a ride on the restored aircraft. We also had a chance to talk to the pilot. What can you tell us about this particular aircraft, the DC-3?
Well, it is an iconic airplane. This particular one was built in 1944, July of 1944, so there was a lot going on in the world in July of 1944, as we know. It was originally built as a military airplane, like the vast majority of the what we call DC-3s were. Most of them had the designation as a cargo airplane for the military, C-47, and that's in fact what this one was. But later in its life, when it left China, in fact, it flew what they called the hump. It flew over the Himalayas, transferring supplies back and forth during the war. Once it left China after the war, there were some issues getting it out of there, but once it came home, it was converted to a civilian airplane and flew actually corporate as a latter-day corporate, prop. They didn't have jets back then. And this livery you see on the inside, this kit you see with the beautiful interior, was put in by Johnson & Johnson. Later on, it was their corporate airplane for a number of years. So it still looks, quite nice today.
Interesting. Tell us about the instrumentation here, how it differs from what we see today in our aircraft.
Well, a lot of airplanes today are more digital. They have more television screens, and if you're familiar with modern airliners, they have different displays. We call the pilot flight display. This is more rudimentary. This is pretty much a day VFR airplane right now. And we do have nice little horizons here with these Garmin instruments. When they turn on, it looks like a normal presentation of blue over brown you'd see in a modern airplane. But that's about all we have. The rest of this is very much in the analog world with RPM, manifold pressure, cylinder head temps, and fuel and oil pressure and temperatures here, fuel gauges like any airplane has, and standard directional gyros that we have to cage and set and everything else. So there's a lot of old school stuff in here. It's very functional for what it's designed to do and what it does today, which is day VFR flying.
How many air miles has this logged?
Oh God, I don't know. It flew, we actually have the records of this airplane flying from the factory in Long Beach in 1944 all the way to Calcutta and then all the way into China. So those original documents exist. That logbook with that gentleman's handwriting in it still exists, and that gentleman was still alive as of a year or so ago. So the airplane's it's been almost around the world. I would say, in terms of air miles, it could have gone around the world. I don't know how many times it actually flew the hump back and forth over the Himalayas, but it had some tough duty over there, hauling a lot of heavy weight in some really nasty weather conditions. You can imagine flying at very high altitude, and Mount Everest or so altitudes to get over safely those mountains, and of course had a nice easy life as a corporate transport much later on.
Interesting. Obviously, as a nonprofit organization, all of the revenue you make comes from donations and such. So obviously, this is an expensive aircraft to maintain.
It is.
Isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It burns, just in terms of a modern reference, about 100 gallons an hour. So that's quite a bit of fuel. I mean, most airplanes these days are flying at 6 to 10, 12, maybe even 14, 15 gallons an hour for most small airplanes. So that's a big number, and avgas is not getting any cheaper. So that's right, and that's just the direct operating costs with fuel and oil is another thing. This airplane holds 25, 27 gallons of oil each side, each engine. So it does burn a little bit of that. That adds up too. But again, just the overall maintenance is a much bigger number than just those direct operating costs. So fortunately, there's still support for this airplane and others like it around this country and around the world. There are parts available, increasingly more difficult to find, of course, and increasingly more expensive. But they're very supportable, and it's quite reliable. Actually, the airplane does pretty well. It just keeps humming along.
As a passenger, comfort, is it fairly comfortable?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty comfortable airplane. I've been in the back a number of times. Probably been in the back more than I have in the front. I haven't gotten a lot of experience recently in this thing. But it's a good ride. It's what we call in the modern day world a light wing-loaded airplane, so it has a lot of gust response. It doesn't just kind of hunker down and bounce right through turbulence like a modern jet would. So you have a little bit more of a floaty feel in the back, but it's plush, comfortable. It's actually rather quiet, in fact, when we get the thing set for cruise with the proper RPMs back, just over 2,000 RPM. So really, it's not a bad ride at all back there. It's comparable on a smooth day to a modern jet without pressurization, of course. We don't have pressurization, so we're not going to go high. But up to 5, 7, 8,000 feet, you're not going to miss that anyway. You won't know the difference. So it's actually a pretty comfortable airplane.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
We finally got a chance to go up in that DC-3. It was quite a ride. We flew almost all the way to Lake Chelan before coming back to Pangbourne Airport. But again, Saturday's Aviation Day was a great success. Also on display was Century Aviation's latest project that we can see here being pushed out of its hangar. Century Aviation, of course, a company that's been in the Wenatchee Valley for quite a while, and that's their business, restoring vintage and collectible aircraft. Here we can see them rolling out that Curtiss flying boat out of the hangar there for display at the airport during Aviation Day. They also have a Jenny that they're rebuilding, an old biplane, and they're also hoping to test fly that flying boat here soon.
Wow,
So
that'd be cool.
hopefully we can be a part of that going forward. But again, it was a great weekend, a lot of stuff going on, and hey, Man, we always have something happening, don't we?
Yeah, this is a hopping little
Really
area.
cool. I really like it.
This isn't the same town I grew up in. That's fine with me. I got no problems with that. 20 minutes after the hour, don't forget the news with Grant Olson. I don't know how we're going to do a newscast today. Like half our staff is off today. I mean, it's that time of the year. There's no school. I mean, think about this. If you're a kid and you're still in school, you're waking up on this Monday, the 18th day, and going, I don't have to go to school today.
Isn't that nice?
Or tomorrow, or the day after, or the day
Remember
after, or the
those
day after, or the day after. So, yeah, we'll put together a newscast. How, I don't know, but we'll have something on the air for you at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock with Grant Olson in the anchor chair at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. It's also available to you to watch on demand on our website at ncwlife.com. We'll get the news up and running there on our web late in the afternoon, early in the evening, 6-ish or so. Also on our Facebook page, and you want to bookmark both our Facebook page and our website so you can look at it numerous times throughout the course of the day to find out what's going on in North Central Washington. And if you want to be a part of our news team, you can do it, right, Steve?
That's right. We're always looking for news stories, ideas for stories that we seek from you out there. So if you have something you'd like to share, you can do it by email at our address. It's news@ncwlife.com. You can also talk to us on our Facebook and Twitter pages, and as always on our website at ncwlife.com. Just click that little tab at the top of the page that says Contact Us or News Tips, and just go forward from there.
22 minutes after the hour, 61 degrees, fairly sunny skies, increasing clouds throughout the course of the day. It'll be fairly cloudy by the afternoon, and a high today of about 87 degrees. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hair.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
And welcome back to this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Sports, Troy Stainbrook and the Wenatchee Apple Sox allowed 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning. They blew a 2-run lead, and they lost to Kelowna last night. The final was 7-5 at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Top of the 9th spoiled a great bottom of the 8th. For the home team, Wenatchee scored 3 runs in that frame. They were down 3-2. They went into the top of the 9th with a 5-3 lead. John Sage helped the Apple Sox at the plate. He went 2 for 4 with a run and a couple of RBIs. On Saturday, Wenatchee used a 3-run 6th inning to back starting pitcher Michael Spalacy's 6 innings of good work to down Kelowna 6-2. The two teams play the rubber match of the series tonight, again at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Hunter Boyd will toe the rubber for the Apple Sox. James Brooks will pitch for the Falcons. First pitch 7:05. Elsewhere in the West Coast League on Sunday, Jason DiCochia's 3-run home run highlighted a 4-run 9th as Port Angeles came from behind to beat the Harbor Cats in Victoria. The final there was 8-7. Landon Barrasso pitched 8 stellar innings of 1-run ball, struck out 7. Corvallis over Cowlitz. The final there was 6-1. Cody Pasek's 2-run double capped a 3-run 2nd inning, and Bellingham held on to beat Portland at Joe Martin Field. The final there was 3-2. Jack Philby 3 for 4, 3 runs. Ryan Johnston 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Walla Walla pounded out 14 hits in a 12-6 win over Bend at Borleski Stadium. And in the only non-league game Sunday, Yakima Valley defended their home turf. They defeated the Northwest Honkers 4-1. So besides Wenatchee and Kelowna on the schedule tonight, in the West Coast League, Corvallis will host Gresham in a non-league game, and Bend will host Victoria. Well, Boston scored 5 runs on 3 home runs on Sunday at Safeco Field. Packed house, sold out crowd at the Safe. The final was 9-2. 7-3. Seattle's Mike Leake got knocked around for 5 runs, 8 hits, 6 innings. He took the loss. He's now 7-4 on the year. Eduardo Rodriguez worked 6 innings for Boston. He allowed 2 runs, 6 hits, struck out 9. He's now 9-1 on the year. D. Gordon 3 for 5 in the leadoff spot. Nelson Cruz hit his team-leading 17th home run in the 4th. Manager Scott Service says his starters struggled with his curveball, while their starter just kept shutting down Seattle's offense.
You know, early on today, Mike Leake just had a hard time kind of getting a feel for the breaking ball. So there's a lot of, fastball, changeup, back and forth. They threw some really good at-bats against him. Had a hard time putting away J.D. Martinez. That was the guy that kind of, didn't get a lot of the big hits, but, long at-bats and stretching it out. So, it happens once in a while. We had some opportunities early in the ball game. I thought their guy threw really well. He's got good stuff. He's having a good year. We had some guys in scoring position and didn't really put a big inning together. But, I say all that, and it's 5-2, and with the way we've been going, we still felt we had a chance. But today was the day the bullpen just couldn't quite hold them there. Jason Bradford's been very good, and made a couple mistakes. It's a really good team over there. There's no doubt about it. That's why they have the record they have. We're a good team. That's why we got the record we have. So disappointed didn't finish off and win the series, but overall very good homestand. We head out on the East Coast here, and positive note, and looking forward to this road trip.
Mariners finished their homestand 5-2. They're still a game and a half behind the red-hot Houston Astros. In the American League West, Service says he understands what this means to his team and Seattle fans in general.
It's a really good feeling, and our guys definitely do feel it, what's going on in the city as far as baseball and the Mariners and the thought about behind this team. And we've earned it. I think we deserve it. The fans attach and connect with our group of guys. They enjoy how we play, how we're never really out of the ball game, and how we get after it, every day. That's baseball. They play 162 once in a while. You're going to have a dud. Today we just didn't get it going, but I don't think it'll be the last big crowd we see here at home before this season's over.
For the Mariners, it's on the road. In fact, it's a very tough road trip. It begins tomorrow at Yankee Stadium in New York. They have 3 with the Yankees, in Boston 4-3, and then 4 games in Baltimore. Les Schwab scoreboard in the American League West looks something like this. Houston make it 11 in a row for the Astros. They won Sunday. They scored 3 in the 8th inning and a run in the 9th. They came from behind to beat Kansas City. The final was 7-4. Jose Trevino's 2-run base hit proved to be the walk-off. Texas scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Beat Colorado 13-12. Jonathan Lucroy's walk-off RBI base hit gave Oakland the victory. They eked out a 6-5 11-inning win over the Angels. So the red-hot Astros lead the Mariners by a game and a half. In the American League West, LA finds themselves 9.5 games back. Oakland crept a little bit closer to the Angels. They're 36-36. They're 11.5 games out of first place. And of course, Texas is in the basement. Huskies lost a heartbreaker in their first game at the College World Series. They lost 1-0 to Mississippi State in the bottom of the 9th inning. Oregon State also lost their first game Saturday by a score of 8-6. So it all sets up an all Pac-12 elimination bracket game today. It's at 11 a.m. It'll be broadcast on ESPN, the Huskies and the Beavers. It'll be followed by a winner's bracket game between North Carolina Tar Heels and the Mississippi State Bulldogs at 3. The Wenatchee Rams had their toughest game of the season over the weekend. Saturday night at the Apple Bowl, the Portland Raiders were in town, but they won. The Wenatchee Valley Rams win 26-20. They're 5-0 on the season in the Western Washington Football Alliance play. Rams on the road this Saturday to take on the Spokane Wolfpack. And that's sports at 29 minutes after the hour. It's time for the obscure holiday of the day today. Summer's just a couple more days away, so today is International Picnic Day. Go out and have a picnic. Eat al fresco. I remember the first time I told my stepson, we're going to eat al fresco today. He goes, I'm not taking off my clothes. I said, no, it means you eat outside. International Picnic Day. Pack a picnic, a basket. Watch out for Yogi the Bear. Hop into the car, go to the park, and enjoy a nice little meal outside. It's going to be a beautiful day to do your lunch hour outside. International Picnic Day. Commune with nature. Enjoy a lovely summer day. By the way, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, I looked this up this morning, the world's largest picnic was held in Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal, on June 20th, 2009. 22,000 people attended the picnic. It was organized by Realizar Impact Marketing and Modelo. Well, no wonder they all showed up. There was beer. International Picnic Day today at 30 minutes after the hour. It is today in history. 206 years ago, didn't we just beat these guys? Now we got to go fight them again, I guess. The United States Declaration of War, it's right there, upon the United Kingdom is signed by President James Madison, and the War of 1812 began on this date in earnest on June 18th, 1812. Why we had to go do this, it's a long historic story, but yeah, we just beat the British, and now we got to go beat them again, I guess. War of 1812 began 206 years ago today. Speaking of war, June 18th, 1815, 203 years ago, Napoleon met his Waterloo, the Battle of Waterloo. Napoleon Bonaparte defeated by the Duke of Wellington and Gerhard Lechbruck von Blücher, I think. So he had to abdicate the throne of France for the second time, and he was off to Elba and exile. Napoleon met his Waterloo on this date 203 years ago. And happy birthday to the greatest invention ever, the record, the long plane record. June 18th, 1978, at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City, Columbia Records introduces the long plane record album. Yes, the long plane record album. Columbia and RCA Victor were in a kind of a war on who was going to develop the first LP that would sound good, hold 20 minutes of music per side. Columbia sat down with RCA and said, why don't we work on this together so we don't have to have all this patent and stuff like that. RCA said no, so Columbia did it on their own, and they still have the patent for the long plane record, invented by Peter Goldmark from Columbia Records, but he didn't get to hold the patent. Part of his deal with Columbia was if you invent something, Columbia, gets the patent. But in exchange, Peter Goldmark was given one copy of every LP that Columbia Records made while he worked for Columbia. Happy 70th birthday to the LP. And at 31 minutes after the hour, speaking of long plane records, birthdays, just one, probably one of the most half dozen most famous people on the planet. I don't think that's an exaggeration. I'm talking about Sir James Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, class of 1988 with a group called the Beatles. You may have heard of them as a solo artist in 1999. Paul McCartney has either wrote or co-wrote 32 songs that topped the Billboard Hot 100. There's not even a close second. James Paul McCartney, there he is 76 years old. Those are your birthdays. That's all the other stuff that we normally do on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. That's coming up here in just a couple minutes. And then in studio, Gabe Stephanitis from the Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club. Lots of things going on at the RAC. It is a full summer of activities, including a big event on Thursday morning. That'll be the main topic of conversation. But other cool stuff with Gabe. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your stoke?
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Walk and Roll Wenatchee's Asian Express is fast, fresh food. Wenatchee Roll's new Poke Hawaiian Fresh Salad Bar is the best. Fresh greens, fresh seafood, and handmade sauces. You know what you want. At Walk and Roll, create your own style meal. Hot off the line chicken, beef, and veggie plates. Lunch or dinner to match your appetite. Fresh sushi, hot entrees, Poke Fresh Salad Bar. It's new. It's Walk and Roll Wenatchee, fast, fresh food your way. Located on 5th and Mission.
Hi everyone, Brent. Hey, don't mind, we're just making a commercial here, Randall. You're okay. Hi everyone, Brent here. You're gonna love this. When you see this, come down and see us behind Nissan. I can do it. I can do it. The all-new 2018 Nissan. That's done, I'm done. We can't do it. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee. better performance, better.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I used to have a limited view of those people we refer to as illegal aliens, but then a family of these folks, an undocumented family, moved in next door, and I got to know them, sharing a beer in our driveways, being there to help the kids when their mom and dad were off at work, being invited to their parties. By being involved in their lives and somehow getting to know them, I completely changed my opinion. There was a family who came to America for the same reason many of our families, yours and mine, did. In the first place, to find a better life. Now, I know some of these illegal immigrants are a problem for us, and you know, I'm not trying to excuse that, but let's be honest. Every immigrant group that has come to America has had its bad apples, and that doesn't negate that most of the rest are as good Americans as you and I. That's true. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Vominos junk haulers are pleased to announce they've added moving services to their list of ways to make your life easier. Vominos Moving Service. No move is too big or small. In fact, Vominos does it all. Vominos employees are experienced at moving your home, office, business, and storage. They'll carefully load and unload your belongings. And for the do-it-yourselfers, Vominos also rents trucks and cargo trailers. Call Vominos Junk Haulers and Moving Service today to schedule your free estimate.
Boating is a great way to bring family and friends together. At Bobfile Boats and Motors, they have the boats for any lifestyle: fishing, wakeboarding, or just relaxing on the water. Buying a new boat is more affordable than you might think at Bobfile Boats and Motors. Online at bobfile.com or on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee.
Bobfile Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bobfile's gonna make you smile.
We're here to celebrate every season with award-winning dining, full-service spa, and 170 waterfront guest rooms. Come experience our tradition of hospitality at Campbell's Resort on Lake Chelan.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
And we are back on this edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Everybody out of the pool, kids swim. Kids swim. I've always wanted to say that on television, on live TV.
You did it quite well,
Thank
I
you.
must say.
Our topic today is the world's largest swim lesson that happens this Thursday morning at the pool at the Wenatchee Racket Athletic Club. And to talk about that and all things rack related, we're going to put them on the rack right here. Gabe Stefanidis
Thanks, Dan.
I got it right. Dave
Yep,
Stephanitis.
You got it right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, when I have guests on, I really make an effort to pronounce their name correctly.
You could have pronounced it any way you wanted to.
I appreciate
I'll be okay
it.
with that.
Gabe, what's your official position at the RAC?
Well, I'm an aquatics lead, which means I'm just kind of helping out with swim lessons, helping out with lifeguarding. Yeah, just basically helping run the program. So, yeah.
And it's a great pool.
It really is, yes.
Every kid needs to learn how to swim. It's as simple as that. And there's no better way to do it than this Thursday. Talk about the genesis of the world's largest swim lesson. What happens Thursday? Talk about it.
Okay, so basically what happened was this organization, World's Largest Swimming Lesson, came up with a plan to host this activity, this event, where we would put together across the globe the biggest swimming lesson. And so this is actually their 9th year of doing it. You know, the biggest thing is that the world's largest swimming lesson is amazing in its results that it's had. So in 2017 alone, 41,000 kids and adults participated in this lesson, over 26 countries across the globe. Yeah,
that's a lot of swimming.
Yeah, and this, and you know what we were talking about, where every kid needs to learn how to swim. This garnered 300 million media attention hits, and so, but since its inception, it's almost had 750 million media attention hits. So we're just trying to get the word out there, trying to get people to come. We want people to come to this event. It's an awesome event.
It's Thursday morning. There's the posters. Thursday morning at 10:45 at the RAC pool. What do people need to know? Okay, I want to start this process. You just show up with a swimsuit. How does this work?
Well,
age limits, all that other stuff.
Okay, well, so the first thing we would ask you to do is that we'd ask you to register at the front desk. That's a really important part. Actually, they're trying to get this into the Guinness World Book of Records. Okay. So we have witness statements. We'll have social media coverage. So yeah, if you want to register, just come up to the front desk and register for that. As far as I know, we don't actually have an age restriction on that. Yeah, just show up, be ready to swim. Our swim instructors will be more than ready and willing to go for that. So yeah, we really just want to get people swimming. We want to make this fun and encouraging for this event.
Swimming is fun.
Swimming is fun.
There's a reason that people have backyard pools all over North Central Washington.
I wonder why that is.
I wonder why, because swimming is fun. But some of the he brought me some stats.
I did.
We talk about how fun swimming is, but these stats are sobering. I mean, very sobering.
Yes.
So. Risk of drowning can be reduced by 88% of children participate in formal swimming lessons between the ages of 1 and 4.
Yeah.
When's the perfect age to learn how to swim? Is there one? I mean, I've heard you got to get the kids in the number one cause is they're afraid of water, and you want to get them in the water as soon as you possibly can, so that seed is never planted. Is that the way to go?
You know, Dan, I think that it's my firm belief that at any age. In fact, the earliest you can, we've got a Bobbin Babies class that we have, which is, parents or guardians bring their kid, we sing songs, and I mean, you can do it as early as you want to. Scientific evidence has shown that actually children have this inherent nature of knowing how to swim in utero, so they're actually trained to be able to hold their breath. So there's actually some really funky videos on YouTube of infants being able to actually just be put in the water and swim by themselves. It's one of the weirdest and creepiest but most awesome things ever. So yeah.
One of my favorite swimming stories is when Chase, my stepson, was 5 or 6. So he would jump in. We had a swimming pool. He had the floaties on, and he would jump in off the diving board and he would just do this for hours. He'd jump off the diving board, he'd pop right back up because he's got the things on his arms, and he would just swim to the ladder and just go in circles. And then one day we were in the backyard, and he jumped in, and they came off. And he popped up, and he went, okay, I guess I'm swimming now. And he swam to the ladder, and from that point forward, and he realized, and he told me this later, I realized you don't have to work very hard to stay afloat. And that's really the number one thing, isn't it?
Hopefully that's what we're trying to teach in lessons, is that there's kind of this respect for the aquatics environment. And so what we're trying to do, especially in our program, is we're trying to teach kids that they can be to have fun in the water while being safe. And so that's why we want to encourage people to get into the water as early as possible, because having that stability or that security of the water wings, but then knowing that they can take those off, that just makes it more fun to be around an aquatics environment. So yeah, and that's what this event does, is it just gets the attention to everyone. So maybe the people who haven't heard it before can now hear of it, and they can do it for free. That's the biggest thing, is that this is a free event.
It's free.
It's free. It's totally free. They just have to go and register at the rack for it.
So do you have enough swim instructors to make this happen, or are you bringing some outside help?
I think we do. Yeah, I think we do. We're going to run it just like our normal lessons, so people who come to this event will be able to see that it's, this is what our program usually looks like. They can get to know the instructors, and I mean, we have awesome instructors this year. And they're more than ready to and capable to do this event. So,
and of course, this is the world's largest swimming lesson, which happens this Thursday, but you have regular lessons too.
We do.
From the very beginning to, I can swim, but I like to be a better swimmer, all that stuff. How many different levels and ages and everything for just regular, here's my money, Gabe, teach me how to swim?
Well, okay, so we at the rack have 3 main levels that we do: level 1, level 2, level 3. And those levels are level 1 is your beginning. So, hey, I'm 3, 4, 5 years old and I don't know how to swim. I don't like putting my face in the water. I don't like blowing bubbles, but we have awesome staff who are more than capable of, coaxing them into the water, bringing them in, singing songs. We want to make it fun. We want to make it approachable. So level 2 is the more kind of intermediate one, where we've got patrons who are comfortable with the water, but maybe their stroke's not proficient enough. And then we have level 3, which is developing stroke proficiency. And then we also have a swim team, our summer swim league, which is taught by 2 awesome instructors, Kaylee and Audrey. And they're actually in the water as we speak. And our first day of lessons is actually today.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So if you sign up, you're making a certain commitment, is it like 2 weeks of lessons or 3 weeks?
It's a 2-week session. Yes. Yeah, we have morning lessons and we have evening lessons, Monday and Wednesday, and Tuesday and Thursday respectively for those 2-week sessions. So.
Everybody should learn how to swim.
Yes.
It's never too late to learn how to swim.
Yes.
One of the great fallacies, and you brought this, and this is something I actually knew. Obviously, the people default to, well, I have a United States Coast Guard approved life vest, so and it fits my kid, so I'm just going to put him in a life vest, and then I don't have to worry about it. Total fallacy. It's false. It's not true.
It really is. The thing is that even if you're strapped into a life vest, but the child has no sense of what it means to be water safe, that life vest is going to help them stay above water, but it's not going to help them from panicking. No. And that's a major risk factor, especially around aquatics environments, that leads to drowning, is because of that panicking or not knowing or being prepared. Because like I talked about before, where water kind of demands your respect, so that's what we're trying to teach, is this appropriate level of respect for an aquatics environment, so to be safe and have fun.
Everybody should learn how to swim. There, I said it again. It's going to be a huge, busy summer. In fact, the 100 days of summer is like now, right?
It is, yes. Yeah.
When we come back, we'll talk about the 100 days of summer at the Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. It's not just the pool. And by the way, if you're just Joe Schmo and a member, for $7, you can just go swim during the open pool time too.
Yes.
If you don't have a pool, it's a great way to do it. We'll talk about that and a whole bunch more with Gabe Stefanidis. I did it again?
You got it.
Yes, when we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week, we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Yamaha ATVs and side-by-side vehicles are proven off-road. Designed, engineered, and tested in the real world, they provide the best balance of off-road capability, comfort, and confidence, delivering performance that is truly proven off-road.
And we are back. I am Dan. He is Gabe. We're talking the RAC, the Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club, and we'll finish up the conversation where we started with the world's largest swimming lesson, which is coming up this Thursday morning. So if you missed out some information, don't go anywhere. We got more about that. You brought a video with you. What are folks going to see here?
So they're going to see that we have this thing called the 100 Days of Summer. So it's your passport to fun. And what that means is there's 100 challenges or 100 things you can do at the RAC. Some things
literally 100.
Literally 100
Everything
things,
from swimming to pickleball to tennis to
oh
weightlifting.
My gosh, yeah. And there's a thing like get a massage. But yeah, so you fill out this passport book, and it actually, if you get all the 100 things, you're actually eligible to win a grand prize.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is, but you're eligible for it if you do it.
Well, that sounds like a cool deal. Yeah. So who's in the video?
Actually, I'm not sure.
We'll find out
I think it might be Lisa, but yeah, we'll see in the video.
Okay, so you folks at home, please use your televisions, and Gabe, go ahead and just use the monitor right here in the studio. Here's your video.
Wow. Hi, I'm Lisa Smith, Group Fitness Coordinator here at the RAC. If you're wondering what to do this summer, don't you worry. Your summer passport has arrived. We have enough activities to keep you busy for the next 100 days with 100 ways to play. Join us June 4th through September 15th. Complete all 100 activities to qualify for a grand prize. Check out our big board in the lobby. You'll see all of our activities range from taking fitness classes to playing ping pong. Gray squares are fee waived. Blue squares get 3 points. Add your sticker when you complete your square. Enjoy the fun. Pick up your passport today or replay every day.
Pretty self-explanatory.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that. As I mentioned before, of course, the Wenatchee Racket Athletic Club has a pool, and they have a swimming team, and a pretty good one. Indoor tennis courts, outdoor tennis courts, pickleball, racquetball, squash, a weight room, a workout room. What am I forgetting? I'm just clapping my hands now. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. You know, we just want to play. That's our motto, where we play every day. So we've got, like you said, we've got racket sports, we've got athletic things, we've got a pool, we've got basically everything. We've got ping pong, we've got anything that gets you active. So we want to have people playing. That's our main goal when they're members.
What's the best way to introduce yourself to the RAC? I think almost everybody knows a member of the Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. Show up with a member and
show up with
start
a member.
Goofing off?
Yeah,
Is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, show up with a member. Have them take you as a pool guest. Have them take you as a guest to the indoor or outdoor facility, and just start playing. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. So.
What if you don't know a member, but you're still curious about the RAC?
Well,
I want a tour. I want to hear about your schedules and what you got.
Go to the front desk. There are amazing, awesome people at the front desk. We've got awesome membership coordinator Emma, and we've got an awesome front desk staff, and they'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction of where you want to go.
Swimming. Let's get back.
Yes.
Well, first of all, this is your newsletter. This is the summer schedule.
It's
you guys got a lot of stuff going on here.
Yes, we
This
do.
is crazy. You guys got a great staff, don't you? I mean, everybody has their certain. Cheryl handles the tennis, and you folks in the pool. Everybody seems to know what they're doing.
I think so. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
We don't want Cheryl teaching, swimming lessons.
I bet we could if you wanted to. We try and mix it up, I guess.
How many kids do you think you've taught how to swim over the years?
Oh my goodness.
A lot.
A lot, yeah. I have a very extensive swimming background or teaching background in aquatics environments. In fact, I've probably been doing it for almost 8 years now. So, but yeah, countless kids. Actually, not just kids. I've taught anywhere from infant to I think actually out of 70-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, that I taught.
That's what we talked about. Is never too old to learn how to swim.
Exactly.
What's it like from a teaching standpoint when whoever it is, be it a kid or an adult, has that epiphany that I think I can swim now, and you've done your job because they got it now. Oh my goodness.
It's really amazing to see that happen. I think the coolest thing is to see that kind of light bulb moment where they're like, okay, actually I can do this. Because I believe that the biggest thing is that they built this wall in their mind where they're like, I can never do this. Swimming is scary, because a lot of these points that they're talking about are true and are relevant. But with the proper, training and that kind of stuff, then people can really get comfortable in these aquatics environments. And it's awesome to see that happen. I've seen it probably more than half a dozen times of where people are absolutely scared out of their minds, but somehow they managed to
do it. So. Always a risk of being around water, even if you're a really good swimmer. And I bring this up because, as I mentioned before, I spent a great deal of the time yesterday morning down to the Columbia, and it is running cold and fast. And I would not recommend jumping into the Columbia River and swimming. And I don't care if you're Mark Spitz. I don't care if you're any of these guys. It's going to carry you right down. I don't care how strong a swimmer you are. That's a big thing. It's one thing to have a backyard pool or a pool like the Rack has with lifeguards and people. It's another thing to go out with your buddies and find a nice lake or a stream or a river and hop in. You can get in real trouble real quick.
Right, and a big thing that we should talk about and address is that sometimes because of these statistics, more than I think it was, let's see, sorry, I need to find notes.
Notes are fine. I encourage notes.
It was, okay, so this is the second leading cause of death in aged 1 to 14.
Drowning is.
Drowning is, yes.
Wow.
And so the thing is that more than 54% of Americans don't know how to swim. Just don't. But they really enjoy aquatics environments. So there's this, unfortunately, there's this kind of fallacy where it's like, oh, well, I'm older or I'm experienced enough. But like you said about the Columbia, if you jump in, that will just take you right away. And so we want to encourage people to at least get some basic level of swim lesson training. And this world's largest swimming lesson is the best way to experience that. At least know that actually, oh yes, I can take swimming lessons. We don't want it to be intimidating. We want it to be easy and accessible to everyone, no matter what. Socioeconomic status does not matter. Everyone should be able to swim.
I agree with you 100%. And if you're in distress in the water, for a lot of people who don't know, it's not yelling and screaming and thrashing around. For the most part, drowning is a silent killer, isn't it?
Drowning is a silent killer, yes. As lifeguards, we're trained to guard by anomaly, which means we're looking for things that don't make sense. So why isn't this kid, like say little Johnny's in the pool, why isn't he, above water? Why is his head like halfway submerged? So, it doesn't look like the screaming, thrashing that we usually see. It's mostly just the head's barely above the water, the eyes are wide, and it's really, it's almost heart-wrenching when you see that happen. Luckily, I've never had to experience that, but I feel like I'm prepared to experience that, but you're never quite ready for that kind of experience. So,
Gabe, we have about 2 minutes left. Let's get back to where we started. The world's largest swimming lesson, and the Rack is participating in it this year. It is Thursday morning. It is at 10:45 at the pool of the Wenatchee Rack and Athletic Club. As the folks at home see that flyer, tell them everything they need to know about getting ready for Thursday.
Okay, so for getting ready for Thursday, if you see us and you want to do this, come join us at the world's largest swimming lesson. We're trying to get as many people as we can. Again, this is Thursday, June 21st at the Rack Outdoor Facility at 1909 number 2 Canyon Road.
There you
go.
That's where you work, by the way,
yes,
Gabe.
That's where I work, yes. This is a free event, and so if you want to do this, come sign up at the front desk, and we hope to see you there.
It's as simple as that.
Yes.
So, and it's free.
It's free.
You just got to sign up.
You just got to sign up.
And how long does it last? How long does
It's
parents?
a 30-minute lesson.
30-minute lesson.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And hopefully we plant the seed and get folks up and running on it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And once again, of course, the Wenatchee Rack Athletic Club offers regular swimming lessons depending on your skill level. And every 2 weeks you start another session, right?
Correct,
So you can,
yes.
if you get the kid into swimming on Thursday and say, okay, Mom, Dad, I want to keep these lessons going. I think I like swimming.
Yeah.
And then you simply can sign them up and all that other stuff.
Yeah. This is a lifelong skill, so this is something that you need to continue just like any other practice. So yeah, swimming lessons included.
And while you're there, join the Rack. You can join just for the summer. This is a misprint. Individual full membership for the summer goes through the middle of September. $329. Obviously, that's a mistake. It must be more than that, right?
No, yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah. Family full membership for the summer, $629. How do you guys make money?
I don't know.
Does your paycheck clear the bank?
I don't think I'm supposed to answer these questions on air.
Again, Thursday, 10:45 at the swimming pool at the Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club. The 100 Days of Summer begins today, I think, doesn't it? It's the first day of school. And that place is just fun. It's one thing you'll notice when you walk in the doors at the Rack. Everybody seems to be having a good time. It's a great big campus full of people goofing off. How bad can that be? Gabe, thanks for doing the show, my friend.
Thanks, Dan.
I appreciate it. Everybody have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.